first point.
That was a very impressive offensive hold there. Philippines opting for a zone defense to slow Re-Raw down. As we said, windy, and the wind also changing direction as well, a little unpredictable. So Re-Raw, you saw a couple of those high bladey flicks to get up and over the cup, both being successfully reeled in by number 3, Ishino. And Ishino there off to Ishizu. Manages a nice goal to start, and we see happy faces, loving this opportunity on the big stage.
And it's good to see all smiles despite this. You'd see the demeanor for, at least for the Philippines in both teams, as you see the lovely flag of Japan sailing in here in Kamisu. It's good to see, despite, I would say, a highly pressured moment. You can see, at least for Philippines and probably Redor, how calm and collected they are, knowing what is at stake.
Yeah, obviously performed really well at the Asia Oceanic Beach Ultimate Championships last year. Actually came second to the Australian mixed team, which is national representative team. So really playing at a high level.
And here we go, quick 1-2 between number 45 and 1. That's Alahas, and this is Buddy.
So different defense here shown. Just a match a little bit saggy in the lanes. You can see them trying to deter that open side shot.
But so far so good from Philippines. Oh, and someone, a backhand hook is gonna be secured by Buddy for their first point for the Alamat Philippines.
So far so good. Buddy's there in disc. Fantastic work by Philippines. They made it up halfway up the pitch and then ripped open a long huck. There was no defender in sight, perfectly positioned, lots of separation. And that was a very impressive skilled throw, kind of to the other side of the field, inside our angle on that backhand huck. What a way for Philippines to get going.
Given with the wind now picking up, that was huge. Like, wasn't expecting that throw at all. Felt like they were looking for the short game, but when Buddy swing it down to the right side, he just went off the races there, knowing probably he will get the disc, and here we are at 1-1.
Yeah, and you know, as you say, John, the wind, that was a downwind direction huck, so really difficult to control because the disc is always going to be pushed further than you think. So Buddy finding a friend well in the end zone. And that's a short pull by the Philippines. They won't be too happy with that, but as you said, that upwind direction, very difficult to get the disc to pierce through the wind.
Looks like some match person defense now for Alamat. Early adjustments.
And a late decision to change the person picking up the disc, but we have a vertical set here, 1-6 for Re-Raw.
Here's Umezawa. Umezawa to Wishi. Oh, quick forehand is gonna be secured, outstretched and all by number 75, Suyama.
Beautiful gather and get. That downwind direction, that low throw, I thought the disc had gone well too far for the receiver, but Suyama just accelerates in to that direction, and a nice grab and a nice peace sign to say, hey, we got this in the bag.
Indeed. And yes, I mean, indeed, when I say, I thought for a second there that pass was gonna be just too far out and out of reach, but Suyama having that go-go gadget hands and arms to be able to reel it in.
And for sure, the Masters Division already showing to be very masterful with disc in hand, John. No problem with any downwind direction nor upwind.
But I think this is something, most of the scores are coming from with the wind side, obviously so, right? So I think key, obviously, is how to convert and be able to switch sides. I think here we go. I think with Redor, right? As we take a line of this beautiful white jerseys from the Philippines Alamat team, we'll see what kind of adjustments Redor will do. As I mentioned, as we talked to their coach a while ago, with Amy, one of their players who sadly won't be able to play because she got injured in a few games as she's pointing to her knee. So really sad for some players not able to play in this pivotal match.
And a different zone look here by Re-Raw. Oh, they generate a low throw by Philippines, but scooped up, and this one a high one does make it through to the receiver.
And here's Lapis. Lapis sends it to Bautista. Bautista rips it through again. It's gonna be, oh, one last second bid there from Leroy. Denies that score.
Well read by Reward. There was too much air under that disc, just giving the defender too much time to come in and make a play.
Here's a chance for Leroy to get their first break opportunity. Here's 66. Matsumoto thought about it. Stall count is rising, but there's going to be some infractions going to be called, and it looks like it's going to be accepted. Tongue twister and all. And will retain with Matsumoto. Matsumoto looking downfield. Gonna expect a lot of in-cuts here given they're against the wind. Able to dump it to 39. 21 sends it to 75. Suyama. Kondo. A pick is gonna be called.
I was going to say, on the previous play there, the Philippines female matching player did a slight poach into the lane, and that movement was enough to deter the open side throw, which meant that it forced Reroar to have to throw back to that break side of the disc. So I think really well done by Philippines to shut that open side down.
Here's Stall count is rising. Oh, almost a D, but able to stick it in. Number 5, Takase. Gonna float a little bit, but able to secure it. Short ball play. A travel's gonna be called. Go back to Omotani. Omotami. Backhand is a little bit too strong there. Miscommunication of somewhat between Omotami and Kondo.
And this time, Philippines offense get another chance to try and convert this hold. A few bodies in the space, but another big
rips
rip.
it through again. Backhand pass is gonna be good. And that's Gonzaga able to reel it in for their second score.
And Philippines not afraid to throw their long game, just throwing their receivers to the end zone. Some very efficient offensive points, just the one miss on the big shot so far, but I think not a bad option when you got the downwind direction kick. Get some extra purchase on that disc. And as we said, some beautiful control. So only just the first turnover point after a couple of clean holds, John. We'll see if their game is starting to heat up.
But can you also notice from Reror, they were right there in those two positions. The first one, able to get the block. Second, just pass was a little too high for the Reror defensive players. So, but still, good if you're the Reror team saying, hey, we're able to hang in with these speedy, athletic players from Philippines who just have to, lock in, be able to get another break chance opportunity.
And that was not an easy disc to reel in by the Philippines receiver. It was coming fast and zippy, and I think just able to get his hand and his body behind it. I think that's a really nice demonstration as a receiver. If you can get your body behind the disc, that gives you some extra ability to kind of block it off instead of reaching out with one hand and then there's a little bit more wind resistance. So very good technical play and position there as well.
And you can see multi-points being played by Buddy from the Philippines. So see if that's going to be something to take note. Someone streaking deep from Reror, denied momentarily.
Speedy undercut rewarded. And a big shot for Reror to the intended receiver. One hand grab. What an amazing reach, and that point over in 10 seconds.
Efficient as you can see from Reror. Able to extend his hand and deny Philippines a block, and they are up 1.
And we saw Kei Ito there have a really nice undercut initially to get play started, beating his defender with some beautiful fakes. After he dishes the disc off, it immediately streams for the deep. And Kei Ito, 40-year-old athlete on the Reror team, looking very strong and, you know, much faster than 40-year-old legs, John.
Indeed. And I think I was just a little bit surprised, saying, oh, 40, but I keep on I have to remind myself, this is the Masters Mixed Division. So I have to adjust what is young and actually old for Master Mixed Division, because in the other division, you would know which is obviously who's young and old. So here, Master Mixed Division, gotta align my age bracket here.
Just recalibrate a little.
Recalibrate, but it's awesome to see. And we were talking about this, right? It's awesome to see that we're seeing more Masters Mixed Division throughout, both local and international, and at least gives chances for, you know, the OGs of the sport to be able to still compete in a high level here, Avril.
Absolutely on. This is a fantastic pull upwind. Look at the height, look at the distance. That is just incredible pull play there.
And here's T with Ollie. Between these two players, they've been playing a lot of Ultimate with their club team. Not surprised that they'll be the consistent players here. 45. Gives it to Buddy. Gets it back. Or gives it back. Buddy's been really active here so far, both offensively, and he gives it back to T. To Buddy. Oh, cheeky no-look pass there. To be able to punch it out, but again, small yardage.
So again, a switch up by the Reroar defensive look. This time they've opted for a zone and a trap sideline. So they are forcing Philippines to go up this very narrow channel on this close sideline and hopefully using the wind to advantage, forcing a miscue on the throw.
Here's Buddy. Pointing directions. Game to Alahas. Alahas, Buddy attacking that cup, right? And recognizing it's not as tight as Reroar won, so he's been really active. Again, another no-look pass from Buddy. Buddy dumps it here to Castro. Castro to Alahas. You're asking a lot of too much from the handlers if you're Philippines.
Yeah, and you see Reroar opting to hold this zone all the way right to the red zone. As they creep closer and closer, the cup collapses in, so very little space in that congested cup.
Here's T between Alahas. Just a little short 1-2 action, but again, if you're Reroar, you gotta be happy with the results you're so far getting. Oh, thought about it, thought he was gonna give that hammer throw by T. Alahas, Alahas to Ollie. Gives it to Buddy.
Yeah, I think they need to work a little harder to close out that cup on that break side. Philippines away.
This is the chance that we're talking about, going to the other side. You gotta see more swings from one side to the other if you want to expand this zone defense from Reroar.
This is getting very dangerous for Reroar. Oh, and patience is a virtue. Reroar Zone D getting the job done. Just a cold drop there. Spent before he had it.
Cold drop indeed here in Kondo. High arcing pass here is going to be good for Omotami or not. It fumbled in his hands. Philippines definitely want to make quick work if they don't want. And looks like match person defense is going to be set or not. But here, able to punch it through to tie the game. And that is Carlos with the sticky hands.
So holds aplenty to start this game, but the last 2 points have been very interesting, John. Both defenses finding a way to get the disc off the opposing team. Unfortunately, the poise of the offense on their D lines not quite working out and giving up some turnovers, demonstrating how difficult it is in these conditions to keep the disc in hand.
And again, that is something you should be happy for Japanese Reroar, right? Being able to stick with their guns until the last second and be able to force that turnover from that uncharacteristic turnover from Philippines. It's easy dump and but just
yeah, I agree. I thought that the turnover was going to come because they trapped that sideline and the break was difficult to get off. But several times you saw them do that inside break between the mark and that second person in the cup. So I think if Reroar are able to tighten up that space, force them to throw the around break or maybe an over the top high release over the cup. I thought that was the way they would get the D. But look, they work it out and they use patience to, to a T. And we'll see if the D lines can get to work and actually convert some of these opportunities now. Beautiful slice through that first wall. Reroar get off to a big roar on this offensive point.
Wishi sends it over. It looks like a turnover on the other side. And here's Philippines' chance to convert their first break opportunity.
So both D-lines on both teams. Let's see who can convert first.
Here's Lapis. Lapis, upline cuts denied by Redor. Female matching player, number 28, able to get it in. Buraon gives it to Lapis. Lapis looking downfield. Losing some options here as he quickly forehands. It just slipped through. Last minute, able to get it go. Amazing opportunity there. But they looking.
And very close dump defense here, causing pressure on that easy reset, also making sure that they're not losing more field position. So a flurry of activity, John. Again, defense really on point, using the conditions to advantage, just swirly wind, forcing errant throws.
Here's Bautista to Lapis. Lapis to Bade. Bade, oh! Not able to secure that pass. And here's Redor. 21, that's Oishi. Kondo, rather. Number 1. Gives it to number 11, Omizawa. All the way to the other side.
Philippines now with the match defense, they have transitioned.
Oh, cheeky pass there. It's right in the middle. Given to number 8. Number 8. Oishi dumps it to Omizawa. Omizawa thought about it again at the break side. Their foul's going to be called on that marking. Omizawa will retain disc.
Yeah, a couple of contact calls here on the foul, on the mark, sorry. Mark's just creeping in a little tight now. And a stall out called.
A stall out call.
And accepted immediately as well.
Great marking from Lapis. And here, match person defense being showed by the Roar's D-line, O-line rather.
You can see how close these dump sets are, really trying to stop the easy resets. But Philippines work it up over side.
Amazing last minute bid from Roar, but 28 with sticky hands, Buraon. Buraon trapped there momentarily, gives it to Lapis. Wind started to pick up. Lapis rips it too for a forehand. A couple of buddies there, unable to get it for Buddy.
3 reroll players going up around the intended receiver for Philippines. So that one, an always difficult task to ask. I think some of the players losing a bit of patience, just saying, look, let's just try and get field position here. There's a lot of wind, very difficult to get some precise throws off. Let's just make them play.
This will be Sachi Takase. Pick up for Reror. Gives it Umezawa. Umezawa, a backhand hook. It's in a one-on-one battle. Who's going to win it here? And number 7 lays it out and gets it to go. Hagiwara with a score.
Incredible bid by Hagiwara. What a way to finish off that multi-turnover point. I thought Rewar were down and out, but it seems that this downwind direction has been the direction that all the points have gone. You know, an upwind break, a bit too much to ask for both teams at this point in time, but both teams showing they've got that big, long, hucking game. Shooters ain't afraid to shoot at all.
Guns blazing, as you like to say as well. And just to recap some of the history between these teams, at least for this tournament, their second round-robin game, 1 universal point by Philippines. So expecting all of this type of play in this tightly contested match so far, Avril, and exciting to be able to witness here live in Kamisu.
That's right. We did talk about the Philippines coming into this gold medal match 6-0 win-loss record. As we see here in the replay, both teams opting for some long options. That upwind look incredibly difficult. Eventually the disc goes all the way the other way, and fantastically read there by the receiver. And also the shooter, Umezawa. He is a 38-year-old athlete known for his solid handling and inside-out throws. That throw being a beautiful outside-in, sitting perfectly for the receiver.
And here is Philippines' chance to tie this game. well, sail out. Little bit of a halfway part of the field.
Yeah, so let's talk about Re-Raw's form coming into this gold medal match. They lost their very first game of the tournament on Universe point 13-14 against Singapore. Their first pool play game against the Philippines, they lost 11-15, but the second one was 12-13 on Universe point. So certainly Re-Raw building and building in this tournament. Their losses have been very, very close.
And here's T. Thinking about, send it over, fakes it over to Alahas. Alahas gets it back here. Travel's gonna be called to reset the play for Alahas. To T. T. Looking downfield, thought about it. He's looking downfield. Stock count is rising, has to shoot it deep for Palomares, but unable to reel it in. Another turnover from Alamat Philippines.
I'm surprised he didn't take a couple of those open side shots. He had two female matching players who looked like they were completely open but opted for a strange long look. So both teams trying to rush the points, John.
This will be a chance for Roar to be able to convert a breakpoint opportunity.
So this is not the position you want the disc in. Re-Raw do well to get an around break to the fat side. As you see, this is an upwind direction. The wind's also pushing a little towards the camera as well, so almost that diagonal wind. So that corner of death might prove very tricky for players to dig a hole out of.
And the pick is going to be called, some conversation. And Omotani is going to send it back.
So just working out where everyone was set when the pick occurred. And again, Re-Raw very happy to take these around tricky breaks.
And a forehand hawk. Bunch of players chasing. And looks like able to be denied. Palomares gets it back for the Philippines. Great chase down block from him. Quick movement here for the Philippines, number 23. That's Chaulayan. D. Ooh, almost a D there from behind. But Bade able to reel it in. D gives to Alahas. Bade gets it back here. Great movements. Oh, just unable to grip it there for the female matching players from Philippines.
Yeah, that disc just went slightly behind her. She had to awkwardly change direction and lean over to try and get a hand to disc.
And there's Matsumoto. Oh, some degree of difficulty from both teams now. Someone punches it. Oh, looks like a miscommunication from the Roar players.
Yeah, found the hole, but the receivers didn't know who was supposed to get it.
And here's T to Alahas. Alahas gives it back to T. T dumps it back to Alahas. It's going to be between these two handlers from Philippines, and T asking for more. Oh, Alahas able to stick it in. Here's Bade. Gives it to Oli. Oli to Bade. Bade, quick movement to Castro. Castro dumps it to Alahas. Gives it back to Castro. Just between these two players. And here's Bade. Giving some directions. Clearing out the field to give more movements for the handlers. Palomares fakes that out. Oh, again. Almost a turnover, but able to secure it. Alahas to Bade. Bade to Castro. Some patience being shown by Alamat team here. Bade swings it to Palomares. Palomares fakes that. Here's Alahas. Alahas punches it in. Laser pass. Carlos with the score.
Having to use her whole body to keep that disc off the ground. That was hard work by the Philippines offense. Multiple turnovers, few very zippy discs going in that downwind direction. Again, just the awareness to use the body to shield almost that disc and give you a second opportunity for a bubble. I think if that was a one-hand grab, that would not have been completed. So Philippines using their female matching players to their advantage in this game.
And Carl is always known to have that reliable hands back home in the Philippines and showcased here. Amazing presence of mind, as what you said, be able to use every inch of your body to be able to reel it in for that score.
And Bode also proving to be a very steady influence. One of the captains of this team. He says to look out for his bald head, which has very smartly been covered by the bandana to make sure his son's safe. So much respect, and also I like the style.
It's funny how he doesn't take himself seriously, but it says otherwise about his game, how serious he takes it in terms of being able to perform very well here for the Philippines Alamat team.
And that is a brick called, that disc falling out of bounds on the full with the pull.
It's been evenly matched between these two nations so far. No one's blinking first, so interesting to see some adjustments in this game, in this half.
Yeah, I think the first team who can get the upwind break, and if they can get it in this first half, will have a huge advantage in this game.
Huge gainer there. Number 77 gets it for Japan. Iwata. Able to be denied. Oh, so Philippines player trailing right there. This is Uishi. Forehand pass is complete to Kondo. Swings it down the middle to Uishi. Gives it to Umezawa. Umezawa swings it to the other side. To Kondo. Oh, able to reel it in. The high release pass. Squeezing it in for Umezawa, and it looks like they will get that score.
And that feels like, you know, it's been a while since we've had a clean O point like that. So Re-Raw certainly stepping up and saying, you know what, we're just going to maintain control here. We are not going to let the defense get involved in the play. And Umezawa there with the assist to Oishi for the score. Actually, quite a lot of the roster for this Re-Raw team was the same roster going to the World Masters Ultimate Championships in the Japan mixed team last year. So these players, although only having formed their team last year, already have plenty of high-level experience playing together.
Yes, and I think, as they mentioned, they've played in some small pocket tournaments throughout the year in Japan, so that's proving wonders as far as chemistry goes for them, and looks to see if they can secure their first gold as they finished silver last year in the AOUC. So looking, and they're excited to be able to see if they can get a chance, but Philippines will say something otherwise to be able to get their first gold as well in this division.
Yeah, I mean, really hard to pick who's going to be the winner of this gold medal match at the moment, John. Very closely matched teams. As I said before, I think the team who are able to get the upwind break first will be the ones who have an advantage. But yeah, like you say, very contrasting kind of styles, right? Because Re-Raw, with their preparations coming into this tournament, they have played lots of tournaments together. So fine-tuning a lot of their defensive looks, and they've got lots of tricks in the bag there. So I'm excited to see what else they have to pull out in this point.
It's a short pull from Japan, so gives a chance for Philippines to make quick work with a short field. And there's Lapis.
Yeah, and it's a zone look again for Re-Raw, but that opens
like
up.
It's gonna be no use, as Philippines quick work, not setting shop for Japan's defense as they tie this game.
That was a one-throw score. Just when we said that Re-Raw held a very clean and efficient offense, Philippines says we can do even better. They just give that one a big roost. As you said, that half-field pull not really doing Re-Raw too many favors.
That's Czar Michael Tabangin with the score, using his speed and agility to strike against the zone defense of Japan.
So after we've had some, 4 to 6 minute points, the last couple end in, well, 2 and 1 minute on the clock, but in terms of play time, it's probably about 3 seconds.
3 seconds. That's even faster even for Usain Bolt to be able to sprint to 100 meters, but 3 seconds, given to all the factors you mentioned in terms of timekeeping, that's extremely fast.
And just remember, we also have Field 2 on the stream. Currently a very exciting open semi-final matchup. The local Buzz Bullets, you know, storied Japanese club in the Opens division going up against Sunder from Australia. Their pool play match went to Universe Point, and so we have a lot of close eyes on that men's semi-final. Make sure you have a look at the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube channel for that game.
We'll get back here with an exciting match of their own in the Masters Mixed Division for the gold. Japan. Thought about that pass.
There's a call on field. Looks like a pick down field, so players will reset.
Return back to Sachi Takase. Takase will be joined by number 11 in that handler line, Omizawa. Takase squeezes it in to number 1, Ichizu. Ichizu. It's gonna be denied by Villarin, Philippines. What a chance for a break opportunity.
Yeah, that was unfortunately a poor decision by Reraw. I don't think they saw the defender lurking in the open under space and way too much air on that disc for it to work. So just a poor decision, giving the disc up quite easily.
Subang gets it back. Bruno, Subang. Gives it to Alahas. Subang. Thought about it. Number 33. And there's Subang. Gets it back. To Oli. Oli. Subang gives it to Villarin. Villarin holsters a little bit. Oh, great swing to the middle to Subang. Gives it to Bade. Bade. Quick movements to the other side for the Philippines. And this is Subang. Subang, it looks like calls going to be made. Subang. So count is rising but able to send it to Bade. Bade, Subang. Both of them. Alahas. Quick dump to Bade for the score.
And that is the first upwind break of this game, John. What a way for the Philippines. So composed on the offensive point. I also think taking advantage of the wind slightly dying down. So they were able to move the disc very smoothly. Initially, they fell into Reraw's hands coming to the close fore side of this sideline. But they really took advantage when they were able to break around and do that continuation upfield, gaining plenty of meters. That was the way that they got themselves into the end zone. And this, I'm going to earmark this as a crucial point in this game.
As we take a look at that patient, slow, and steady offense from the D-line of Alamat Philippines team. Great movement between the handlers, between Subang, or Bruno as he's known, between him and Bade. So, great decision to put them together in that D-line.
I have to say, it feels like quite muted celebrations, John. I would have thought a first break of the game in a gold medal match, you get up and about, but, you know, Philippines having the experience to remain cool and composed and say, look, it's still early days, it's only 5-4, you know, well done, but we've still got more work to do.
Job's not finished, as Kobe would say. Rest in peace to his soul for sure. So, going back in this game, that's going to be a very crucial point, right? First break against the wind field, right? So we'll see how Japan can try to turn it around, but at the same time, Philippines take advantage. It's against the wind, so gonna hope to see a zone defense might be.
Yeah, potentially. So I guess this is, you know, sometimes when you get an upwind break, it's almost that like double bonus in that you can force the offense to play upwind, which is not what they've been doing so far. So sometimes they're having to adjust very quickly. That's in your favor. And secondly, it's harder for them to get big meters. We've seen both teams using their big hut game when they're coming in the downwind direction particularly. Much harder to do that upwind because when you throw a big huck, the disc is going to sit in the air and it's going to float in the air, and it's just going to allow that extra time for the defensive bodies to get under the disc. So you have to be way more precise. And also, you're going to have some really creative throwers too.
And right on point, as you can see there, Abel, a zone defense going to be shown here. And that zone is going to be featured by Bautista as well as Map Pangilinan. It's going to join that Zone Cup. Great work so far, forcing the dump, but just as I say that, punches it through. Number 23, Ito. Ito to Umezawa. Umezawa gives it to Ichizu. Ichizu gives it to their teammate. Gets it back. Ichizu. Snow count is rising. Gotta squeeze it in. Able to do so. Ichizu gets it back. Looks like a trap is gonna be called, so Ichizu will retain the disc. Ishizu. Some discussion about that.
Yeah, just trying to clarify what the trap was for. Potentially, she thinks she didn't change direction and maybe the Philippines player thought she had. So it looks like it's accepted based on the hand signals from the game advisors there. So accepted travel, and this will be tapped in the red zone for reroll.
Ishiju gives it to number 23, Ito. Ito. And a pick is going to be called. Going to stop play momentarily. Again, another call. Ito's going to still retain that disc.
So reroll just set in a vertical stack, pretty classic 1-6 formation. But looks like a pick called due to that congestion and the stack being quite compressed.
It's going to retain here with Kie Ito. As you can see the game advisors slowly walking in to see if there's some clarification needed, but none.
And Ito, one of the players on that Japan Mixed Masters team at the World Masters last year, was looking for another assist to add to his 4 coming into this game.
Ito. Umezawa able to go back and get the dump. Great match person defense at this red zone for the Philippines. It looks like
it's a foul called. Maybe someone stepped on Umezawa's foot or Ito's foot.
as she tries to shake it off.
That is a high dump. She's having to go all the way back, but tracks it well.
Ito, forehand pass. Oh, last minute bids, no good for the Philippines. 11, Umezawa gets the score.
Beautifully done by reroll. That first upwind offensive point showed that they had no issues controlling the disc. And Umezawa has been playing for 18 years in total. Plenty of experience there. He's part of this core roster who played that Asia Oceanic World Beach last 2023, and then also at the World Masters in last year. So making sure he's getting some international tournaments in every year to push into his 20th year of playing.
A lot of mileage in Ultimate Frisbee between these two nations. So exciting to see as they continue to march on to get their first gold. You can see that streaking cut from Satoru Umezawa. It's 6-all. Philippines roar, and if you're just joining in, as we have a strong 700 people on the stream now, and the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube channel. Here's number 5 with the pull from Reror. Here's Lapis. Number 1, Bade. Bade. Looks like from the Japan, they're trying to, again, showcase sort of a zone defense, but looks like a poachy match person defense. Here, number 25 from Japan, just stay in that middle portion of the field, denying any quick in cuts. But no problem so far from the Alamat handlers as Lapis rifles it into Bade. Bade squeezes it to Villarin. Villarin, oh, someone was a little bit open and then passes it complete to a female matching player from Philippines. Oh, and some collision between Alamat and Reror, or Philippines and Japan, to stop the play momentarily. Oh, pass is gonna be too high and just sail out of bounds. Crucial, especially near the end zone of Alamat. Gonna give chance for Japan to get back and get the lead.
So interestingly, this upwind direction for the Philippines O-line causing some trouble. And now looking for a long, but that's all covered. Stall count rising, but a marking infraction may reset the stall. So Reror setting up in a pretty classic vertical stack. You can see the diagonal angle of that, which means that they open up both the open and the break and also the deep side. But Philippines doing very well to bracket and cover all of those options, having to go for a high-risk swing.
Amazing skill to be able to get out from that corner of death. And you perfectly explained. Here's number 0, Omotani. Omatani. It looks like
Violation, perhaps?
violation. It's going to be called.
Or pick, maybe. As the wind does pick up, and as we said, it's that diagonal wind going from the right to left of screen and then slightly towards the camera. So I think it's a good plan to try and get it to this side of the field for Philippines, because it means that any throw will, you know, have an extra fade out to the left and potentially out of bounds.
So some discussion between Lapis of Philippines and Omotani. They will agree to a perspective. Omotani. Looking. Oh, cheeky high release pass. Complete. For 21, Kondo. Kondo. Oh, able to get that break pass. Able to reel it in, but looks like
stolen out of the hands there. Bode says, you know, reads a deflection actually off the hands, and it's going to be tricky to see if there was any infringement on that play.
It looks like from the Japan player, number 66, Matsumoto, bobbled through his fingers. It looks like it fell out of his hand, I think, and Bade was right there to take. We'll see, but looks like. This will be a very crucial discussion at that.
Yeah, this is the first time in what feels like quite some time that Reror have had an opportunity for a break point. And I like the high release options, I think commonly seen in Beach Ultimate, which obviously a lot of these Reror players enjoy. And we know they are from, quite a few of the roster are from the Kanto and the Kyushu region, so potentially having more beach opportunities there. We can see the creativity in their throwing sets.
Great spirit discussion. As you see, it will go back to the Philippines. Loving the calm and collected discussion. And I think it goes to show, I mean, goes without saying, especially in the Masters division, right? Where a lot of players have got tons of experience. So I think calm and collected is a way to go in terms of discussion. We'll get back to the action. Lapis. Lapis thought about it, swings it to Villarin. Villarin fakes that dump, opts to give it back. It looks like
foul called on the upline strike, I think. Just getting a little bit too close for comfort for Omatani.
you see the increase of physicality now as we're sensing the moment. Villarin having some trouble to get some other players involved. And finally, Lapis and Alahas. Alahas to the other side to Villarin, gets it back, fakes that huge backhand, opts to a short pass.
So again, Philippines looking very powerful when they get to the break side. Beautiful squeeze and score.
Amazing pass there to punch it in. And that's number 28 being able to read it in. Narites Buraon for the score.
Philippines, after giving up possession, they do well to get it back, forcing that high release throw and that bobble. Eventually, number 66, Matsumoto, and that discussion, realizing, okay, maybe he didn't have control of those bobbles and it was all fair play for, I think it was Bode with the, or Lapis with the possession in the
Correct.
end.
Indeed. You can see number 28, Buraon, all happy to be able to get that score. As you look at the replay, I can see that error from the first few points with that win, causing that first play from Alamat.
Yep, Waron, a 33-year-old player who's been playing for 10 years, so one of the younger legs on this Masters roster. So showing she's got the speed and also got the smarts there, well positioned for the quick flip and score. And I think Philippines are looking very powerful whenever they get the disc on the break side. I think they're making a conscious effort to always continue up that break side when they do have that opportunity, and, you know, not kind of being baited into throwing back to this open trap side. It feels like they're really using a conscious effort to use that break side of the field, and to a very good advantage in this game.
See how Japan responds. Ishizu gives it to number 8. Uishi having some trouble. Ishizu able to make a leaping catch. Gives it back to Umezawa. Someone streaking deep from Japan, but waved off. Ishizu driving this momentum forward. Another diving catch from her. She's trapped here at the sideline, but number 77 able to get it. Iwata. Oh, and a great poach defense from Alamat female matching player. Philippines with a chance to take half. Tabangin. Oh, pass is going to be too high. Denied by Japan. Costly error. Here we go with number 7. Number 7, Hagawara. Gives it back. Number 11. Easy score there from Ishizu. A sorry and missed opportunity from Philippines, especially downwind.
Absolutely, and that's the other advantage of getting that first upwind break, is that if you get another break opportunity, you are going downwind, so you can absolutely play for field position. But I do want to highlight Reina Ishizu's point there. That was absolutely a captain's point here. You know, she was driving that offense, you know, especially with those upline cuts from the handler space, a couple of jinks to get free, and then the continuation as well on power position. Reina Ishizu absolutely powering this rear-roll team back into contention for this gold medal.
7-all, and it's going to be an important point for Philippines. If they take this point, they will start 0 in the second half. So Definitely from Japan's point of view, at the back of their head, gotta get this back if they want to stay in contention for gold. As we look at the beautiful crowd here witnessing this exciting matchup.
It's a close one, just one break in the game. As you said, both teams having opportunities, but some of them being squandered. And I have to say, it doesn't really feel like Philippines are particularly dominant, right? Like, in terms of gameplay, it feels very, very even. Just the fact that Philippines were able to convert that one opportunity has really put them ahead in this game. So Rero with all the work due, and we were highlighting Captain Ishizu. She stays on the D-line, puts up a huge pull here. And Rero with a zone look, just 2 in the front, so that using more resources upfield to deter the long shot.
And here is Buraon, gives it back to Alahas. Subang takes that pass. Gives it to Alahas. Great crashing from the cup to deny that easy one pass. But Subang gets it back. Doing a great job. Japan is shutting down some flow from their side, from Philippine side.
They've now got a third defender creep down into the cup, sensing an opportunity here as Philippines very stagnant.
You can sense that second wall from Japan really have a conscious effort looking at the cutters from Philippines, denying any forward pass. They're happy to see those swing. If you remember a few points ago, that caused a turnover from Philippines with those swing action between the handlers.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea from Rero to slow the pace of this game down, slow the Philippines offense down, make them uncomfortable, have to sit with this disc and maybe bait them into a slightly high-risk throw. You know, it does look like the Philippines offense, there isn't a lot of movement downfield, which means they are relying on very precise throws to get out of trouble. And as we know, preciseness in these conditions, not the easiest thing to achieve.
Easier said than done as well. Here's Alahas, just when you thought. Some quick movement so far, Carlos. Gives it back to Alahas. To Subang. And now we're seeing some good movements from Philippines as they are able to open up that one-hand catch. And that was Carlos. Going back to Bade. To Subang.
So just with, the big frame of Omatani there, just causing a small miscue from Philippines, but unable to convert that into a block.
And here's Bade able to squeeze it in, gives it back to Subang. Alahas gives it back to Subang.
Double team there, surely. Although there is that dump within 3 meters, so she is well within her rights to be that close, is Suyama.
As we look at the action here between, or discussion rather, between Japan and Philippines in this call. Again, if Philippines get this point, they'll start on 0 in the second half. So Japan sensing the pressure.
And you know what, John, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a timeout called here this point, just to recollect and regather. You're here in the red zone. Can you institute some kind of set play or maybe just get the legs moving a little more in that downfield or rotation from the cutters to that popping space? Because, as I said, they are relying on their throws. That big mark of Omatani is really pressuring those throws, forcing those high opportunities. They have forced some high throws, but weren't able to get defender bodies underneath.
Here's Bade. Finally gives it to Villarin to Subang. Oh, cheeky pass there to Bade, but he's trapped here. A lot of bodies from Japan. Alahas. Oh, great defense on the handler side. But Subang able to get it. And you can sense it there. Philippines takes half with a score of 8.
What a way to maintain composure for the Philippines. They had to work it all the way with small ball against that zone defense of Rero, but proving they are up to the task. As you say, they maintained that hold going into the half. And will that be the crucial point to determine the outcome of this gold medal match?
And Philippines get that crucial point. And not surprised how this game is going to go down the wire as Philippines, loud and proud with those white jerseys, will definitely take a break and take a breather between this exciting match in the gold match between Philippines and Japan here in the Masters Divisions. This is the Asia Oceanic Ultimate Championships. Body ba o bade? Bade, no? Bade? Tama? Kasi nilagay mo sa chart body eh. Late ka lang ba? Kanina body ako ng body eh. Kasi nakalagay sa red. Nilagay sa body. So parang okay. Bade. Kaya nga, bade na nga. John Bade. John Bade. Sa akin, ang gago. Oo nga, gago mo dun eh. Sabi ko pagpasok ko, gago talaga niligali eh. Banggitin mo ang gago. Gago. Jonats, foul ba yun sa akin? Foul? Naulog ako? Maalala. We're back in the second half in this Masters Division gold match between Philippines and Japan Reroar. As Japan Reroar will look to start on D-line here, Avril. Any adjustments we feel that they need to make?
Yeah, so a lot of holds in this game to start. Eventually, Philippines managing to get that crucial upwind break to bring it up to 6-5. The immediate possession after Reroar did have an opportunity to break but could not convert. So, you know, some missed opportunities late in the first stanza for Reroar. can they turn up the defensive pressure and convert a break early in the second half to put the pressure back on Philippines?
Here some, looks like...
There's a down call, and very fair to question this one.
But looks like it's going to be accepted, but looks like it was a little bit of a little down there for me, but nonetheless, Philippines will get it back. Here's Subang to Villarin. Villarin. A little bit of, I'm quite confused with the defensive structure here, Avril.
Yeah, so...
I hear a quick shoot to Philippines, to Bade. Bade. Thought about it. Easy pickings as Philippines gets that score. Chaluyan being able to get it for their 9th point.
And that was just the big body of Bade proving too big a target for the Philippines to hit. Like you say, Chaluyan, a nice work to just gun it upfield. And she said her field awareness is something to look out for, in addition to disc reading. That one proving easy pickings for Chaluyan. But yes, I think the defense structure that we were going for was a 2-3-2 zone. They had put that zone. You see these two deep defenders just getting caught out. They didn't quite coordinate the matchups on the two deeps. And that really was why it looked so easy for Philippines to dice through that defense. I have to say, though, on the previous point in the first half, Riro did put up this 2-3-2 zone, and it was very effective. So it's just that one small miscommunication between the two deep defenders which opened it up.
It looks like an award show where a red carpet was given to Ollie there to get that easy score, welcoming her to the end zone.
Yes, I think Riro probably will look to put on a slightly different defensive look the next time, or make adjustments to that current one, because they did generate an opportunity in the previous time they gave that defensive look. But this pool rolls out of bounds, so a reasonably short field to work with for Uishi.
It's going to be a match person defense shown by the Philippines Alamat. Oh, Japan thought about it, having some trouble.
And this is just fantastically coordinated defense.
Oh, the pass will be high, but able to save it. Number 23, Ito. Great presence of mind to take a look at that play. Ito gives it to Omazawa. You're noticing the difficulty of pass being forced by the Philippines. Oh, Ishizu able to get that pass. Ishizu rips it through. Gonna be a one-on-one battle here. Who's gonna win it? But it's gonna sail out of bounds.
That one was won by the wind on 100%, John. I have to agree that Philippines' match defense was so well coordinated. When you saw the disc come into play, there was clear coverage of the around by the person on the mark, and you saw the two dump defenders stand well in front to prevent the upline cut, and that's how they forced Riro to go all the way backwards across. Almost a turnover on that second pass, but scraps picked up well by Ito. And look, I like the way that Riro are staying aggressive on their offensive points. They're not afraid to shoot in this downwind direction. They probably had a bit better control early on in the game. This time they've got to try and reel that control back in, adjust to these conditions, and really be willing to work through the legs.
Tabangin. Oh, the pass gonna be a little too high. Unable to reel it in. Philippines and Japan will get a chance. Umezawa gives it to Ishizu. Ishizu gives it to Umezawa. Umezawa being guarded by Thunder. Oh, a cheeky pass. Body hops, but not yet in. Ishizu gives it to Umezawa. Umezawa. Backhand pass is going to be complete and floats to Ishizu's hands for the score.
That was just the 1s and 11s. All the ones coming up trumps. Umezawa and Ishizu dominating that point. And with Umezawa here looking out for his solid handling, certainly coming to fore here. A nice steady pace for the offensive line. And then that is another clean hold. Sorry, a dirty hold. Gosh, the game is going so fast, John. Hard to keep track of all these points. As you said, the conditions here certainly advantaging defense, able to give plenty opportunities to get under the disc.
So just looking at the replay, as we look at the lovely crowd that's bunched up under that two umbrellas. That's just two little umbrellas for that crowd to be able to. But again, showing the passion to cheer on for their team. And just to recap there, it looks like it's a breakpoint opportunity, perhaps. So we'll take a look at it later. But again, I mean, Reror able to inch closer. And here, an ill-advised Hawk from Philippines on a layout bid, almost complete, but and here's Philippines. That's number 66 rather, Reror. Matsumoto gets it back, another layout bid, unsuccessful. Bade trying his best to deny Reror a point. 21, Kondo. Oh, the pass is gonna be too low, and he knows it from the moment he let that pass go. Philippines, Subang to Bade. Bade to Villarin. Villarin being tightly marked here. Gives it to Buraon. Oh, and this looks like a regulation dump, but error cost.
Yeah, just didn't know it was coming his direction. I think she threw that. He thought he was in.
Oh, here Reror rips it too. Isn't it enough? No, I thought she was gonna reel it in. Outstretched arms and all.
That is day 5 legs, John. I reckon even yesterday she probably had a shot at that. I think you could see that fatigue and weariness. That disc floated for what felt like eternity, but just not enough acceleration in those legs. Like I said, hot day, day 5, having to run long points. And Philippines O-line a let off again.
And here, Subang rips it through. One-on-one battle. Gotta be comfortably won by Bade. Bade. 2-on-2 on that end zone. Bade squeezing it in for the score. And that's Buraon with another point for Philippines, increasing the lead by 2. Missed opportunity there by Reror.
Yeah, so I think it was one of those situations where the D-line of Reror are generating opportunities. I have to highlight Sachie Takase, number 5, felt like she was involved in a lot of these defensive plays, but just disappointing, unable to convert it. And this one was just an overthrow. I don't think number 45, Alahas, knew that the disc was coming, was kind of just appeared in front of his face. And that little error, just Reror able to get advantage, but this time it was Tubaron's advantage. Nice score then. A zippy pass from Bode, absolutely anchoring this offense. I feel like when he's on the field, Philippines just stand taller, knowing that they've got his calm and cool head, make good decisions.
Still a lot of ultimate left to be played in this gold medal match, as that ball will sail out of bounds to the farther end of this field. Number 11, Satoru Umezawa, will pick it up for Reror. And Umezawa has been the steady handler for his team. With 4 assists now, will look to lead the charge.
Zone D applied by Philippines, so they are forcing it to this close sideline, but that immediate break means it does open up the space for Reror. They now work it around the cup. Some exquisite faking to move that mark, but
able Umezawa. there's going to be some discussion.
There's a foul on the
called
throw.
pass.
Yeah. So obviously the shape was not the desired one by Iwata, and immediately accepted by the Philippines, wanting to get things underway quickly. So as we see this cup of the Philippines, they've got the mark covering the Noah rounds here, and then the no break for that second person in the cup. But Reroll just showing their class here, going overhead. Now they chop through the cup, and again they dice through. So this Philippines defense not really applying too much pressure to the Reroll offense.
That was 77 with that amazing blade of a hammer to slice through that cup, presented by Alamat, and looks like pass just too far away for Umezama to have any chance, and looks like Philippines. This is Bautista. The other side gives it to Lapis. Lapis trapped here in the sidelines, looking downfield. Gives it back to Bautista. Bautista weighs off that dump, but gives it back and gets it back here. Pass is gonna float a little bit, but able to leap and keep that disc alive. Lapis, laser throw of a pass, but a jumping catch by Zar Tabangin. Tabangin fakes. Finally dumps it to Lapis. Lapis left alone there, but Javier able to come back in. Got Seymour, a lot of inside in cuts. Oh, it looks like
there's going to be a foul called, some discussion on that mark. I was just about to say that this match defense that Rira are applying, they are covering the inside. So that's an interesting choice, right? Because I would have thought covering the around mark might be the way to go, given how punishing Philippines have been when they're using their break side, and also given that the wind is blowing, as we said, slightly right to left and from the camera away towards the screen. So it means if Philippines throw an around... Oh, that looked relatively clean to me, John. Yeah, so like I said, I feel like they're actually giving Philippines and baiting them to throw the around into the wind almost, hoping that that wind will pick up, lift up those break side throws, and then be able to get defenders underneath. So, you know, they're protecting this inside. They don't want them to throw it, but it does mean that that open side, you know, they are able to work that through, and the trap is not quite effective on this close sideline.
looks like it's going to be a contested foul. So take a look at the replay.
That looked clean as a whistle to me, John. I mean, look, it's hard to know, right? From an arm and hand contact, didn't look like there was anything, but maybe there was some body, elbow, shoulder. Ah, yeah, fantastic bid
out there from Javier. Lapis. Between these two players, Bautista drives it to layout block by number 77.
Iwata, what a bid! Being a champion in the hand space and an overthrow. Oh no, that does make its way.
Shoots it here. Does they have a chance? No, just too strong. Sorry, miss again from Roar.
Just too much angle to that disc. It needed to be a little flatter out of hand so that it had more float and more time for the receiver to run onto. But what an incredible D by Tomoe Iwata there on the last line of defense, getting horizontal, never say die attitude.
And just when you thought the momentum, it looked like it was gonna move towards the Roar, but again, as I mentioned, sorry miss. Lapis, excellent mark, has to huck it with a bunch of bodies there, but Zar streaking, able to secure that pass. Break side pass is going to be too high, but too good of a catch from Javier as he hears the Alamat cheers for that catch.
And what a way for Philippines to get that second break. That was an immense 2 throws upwind, finding so many meters. And you could see the reroll defenders getting under the discs, but Philippines players using their vertical leap, getting up high for the grabs and preserving that space so well in the end zone. That throw was to the break side. The first long huck we see. This is crossfield, leading the receiver into that space. And then this one goes crossfield back towards the left side. Incredible flat and slight inside-out angle on that one to float it to the receiver. There was no chance that Abe had to affect that throw. What an incredible play. Two-throw break from the Philippines Masters team.
And that was Nina Javier, one of the stalwarts of excellent ultimate frisbee in the Philippines. Happy to see her return. She took a long pause from ultimate, roughly around 2 to 3 years, and happy just to see her perform, especially at this stage.
And interesting, reroll come out in a horizontal offensive set. So Philippines defense forcing reroll to change up their attack.
At the same time, Alamat trying to slow down Reror's offense. Looks like a cup presented here, number 23, Japan, Reror. Swings it to the other side.
Yeah, Oishi and Ito really doing most of the work here. Now Umezawa comes back in support. So relying on this handler weave, the three back here, championing this offense. But kudos to the Philippines defense, and they do force an error from that handler weave.
And here's T. Quickly picks it up, gets it back. T. There's Pangi Gonzaga. Gives it to Carlos. Carlos gives it back to T. One-handed catch and all. Quick run through pass. Trapped here at the sideline, but T able to get it out of there.
It was a cheeky flick push pass.
Indeed, at that T. Break side pass is secured.
And Alamat roaring away here from reroll, dampening the spirits of the Japanese team, that they are showing their class into why they have come into this gold medal match undefeated, John. They are looking for their 7th win on the trot in this tournament. Philippines just looking so controlled and composed. The reroll, 3 handlers, like we said, Umezawa, Ito, working really hard alongside Oishi. Just a bit too much pressure, and I'm not surprised here. Timeout called after Philippines, as you said, their Masters team, Alamat, also known as. They have really asked the hard questions from reroll.
And that was Aloysius Mananzan being able to reel it in, his first score in this gold medals match. And we will take a short break here as a timeout's being called by Reror. We'll be back for just a few seconds. Live from Kamisu and here in the Asia Oceanic Ultimate Championships.
Nice ka, bro.
get back from that short timeout. We'll see what Reror talked about in that timeout.
Absolutely. So Team Philippines stamping on 2 breaks in a row, silencing Reror. And they'll have another crack at this offensive point. Philippines, their defense absolutely firing and forcing a high-risk hammer throw, rolling on the ground. There will be a question of, was that disc up or down?
Nonetheless, great presence of mind from Reror player to roll on the floor. And we'll see. And that was number 8, Noriyuki Oishi.
And they're going to get some translation assistance here. Have a chat about whether that disc was up or down. There've been a couple of low discs here. As we said, the wind pushing the plate down into the ground. Players having to dive to save possession.
That's again a kudos to the zone defense of Philippines, forcing Reror to make those risky passes. I know they can definitely execute it, but
I think in that direction particularly, John, it's like that upwind direction. So I think they've chosen well to trap it to this sideline, force a tough high release throw into the wind, which gives that extra air in terms of getting defense and getting numbers underneath and applying pressure. And I think the other thing is when Philippines have put on a zone, they've done well to, as we see on the replay, it does look like, ooh. So it looks like the hand got under one side of the disc, but it was the other side of the disc closer to us. Did that part touch the ground first?
And not surprised, it's going to be
contested.
A bang play there. It will be turned back to Tomoe Iwata.
I think they're working out the stall count at the moment. Felt like a long time ago when she had the disc.
Here's Iwata. Iwata gives it to number 23, Ito. As you mentioned, Ito's been that steady hander for Reror. Oh, amazing vision to give it to Ishizu by number 11, Umezawa. And there, punches it through for the score. Great response from Reror after that timeout.
Well needed and exactly what they wanted. Ishizu slices that backhand through 2 bidding defenders from the Philippines. They were converging together to close up that channel. But Ishizu, you know, that was a really brave shot, right? Because she had to get the disc quickly off, but also she had to throw it with enough touch so that her receiver could catch it. Because that downwind direction, that disc is just going to blade into you and be very difficult to control. So very brave. That was a captain's assist by Reina Ishizu there, getting Reror back on the board.
That pass felt like a last-ditch attempt to catch the train at the closing doors. Great, as you can see here.
2 closing defenders, 1 from each side. That was number 7 getting involved. Javier doing everything she can. She's also a captain of this Philippines mixed side. So really the leaders now trying to lead their way for both teams. Looks like Philippines are the ones in the box seat position to take out this gold medal.
We'll see what Reror will have to say to that as they approach a match person defense. Oh, Philippines with a hawk of their own. Oh, just floats right into Bade's hand.
Bode was very smart there, just teetered towards the fall of the flight of that disc and forced the Reror players to both turn and twist, losing sight of the disc. Eventually uses that body, that Bade body, to protect the fall and comes up with a very efficient goal.
Probably, if I was a betting man, that only took around 3 seconds or 5.
Yeah, I think the time officially says 1:30, but once you take out the line calls, yeah. Less than 10, that's for sure.
Again, Philippines inching closer As you look at that high arcing hook.
And Bade now, he is the stats leader here in this game. 2 assists, 3 goals, and like we said, so steady on this offensive line. Alahas having 4 assists as well. So those two absolutely contributing enormously to this team.
It looks like from this lineup, it's gonna be, a run-through defense, not able to secured by T. Here's Ishizu. A zone defense presented by Philippines. Number 11, Umezawa. Swings it to the other side.
So they've stuck with their core offensive structure. I have noticed that Ishizu has started upfield more through the latter part of this game. I think trying to work the disc up through her and then obviously being able to shoot. But very reliable and patient at the moment. They're just happy to swing side to side, but not making too many meters. So really needing these poppers to try and come behind into the cup, into the space that can find those holes and punch through. Alternatively, like we see here, able to make some advancement when they get it to the sideline.
If you're Philippines, you gotta tighten up that gap. If some of the handlers from Japan, a costly turner from Ichizu. It looks like she was already looking forward to the pass. Uncharacteristic error from Ishizu.
Yeah, conditions like this, the wind is just picked up as that throw went up. So you need to watch it disc all the way into your hands to make sure you secure all of those catches. And like you said, I think that Philippine zone making Re-Raw a little hesitant, or shall I say a little rushed in terms of trying to move the disc before the defense come into play. So that is kind of good mental pressure as well applied by the Philippines defense.
This looks like a timeout's gonna be called by Philippines. Strategic timeout.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you're already up 3 breaks in this game. It's nearing the end. You've got possession of the disc. Set up a set play. We've seen their defense score very efficient offense points, right? That previous break was 2 hucks, game over. And, you know, if they can get an easy score, save those legs, go into the final few points of this game to secure the gold medal, why not?
I can see one of the younger, I'll say players from Reror on the back. Looking to see if that tiny frame can cheer on this team. So you look at the huddle here, Philippines. Definitely right. I think they need to take advantage of this, right? To be able to score and have that easy cushion.
Yeah, on the flip side, I think Re-Roll trying to gather the troops as we see fantastic sideline support. And, you know, this is why we play Ultimate, John. You know, we play with friends. We're here to have a good time, enjoy the sun. And I'm sure Re-Roll are keen to put on a good performance for their home crowd as well. So Re-Roll showing that age doesn't matter. You can absolutely compete with the best of the world, best of the region.
Let's see, it will be started out with Bautista in the hander line.
You can already see Takase here, poaching here in the open lane. So deterring those open undershots. They do not want Philippines to gain power position.
Here's Bautista. Fake that pass. Being able to send it to his teammate, T. Give it back to Bautista. All the way to the other side to number 81. A call is going to be called, foul is going to be called between the two players at the middle of that stack. So retained.
So when that play started, I think that was fantastic look for Takase to sag in that open lane. It meant that whatever set play that Philippines had in mind, that was deterred and forced them to just go for a swing without any meters gained.
Bautista trapped here at the sideline. Tabangin thought about that backhand hook. Bautista gets it back. Sends it out there. Tabangin all the way to the other side. T Sends it deep to Tabangin. But Philippines, or Reror, denies that for the Philippines.
So Rero have done well to shut down that break opportunity by the Philippines. You could see that play evolve. You could see that cut evolving to the deep space, and Rero already aware that the D-line offense here want a quick score. 3 defenders there ready to receive.
And here from Philippines, they'll trap it there in the corner. Number 5, Takase, sends it over to Ishizu. Ishizu decides to laser it in.
Can Ito get there? Oh!
It last minute bid.
Centimeters away, John. Centimeters away.
Just when you thought there was gonna be an exciting play that might roar back into this, centimeters away from that.
I think a couple of these longer looks from Ishizu in this second half have just been a little bit overthrown. I think when you're trying to throw an away, like to an away cut, which that was, there's just too much zip on it. If someone's coming under, they've got their back to kind of help them protect the disc direction. That's okay to throw it that zippy, but you just need to put just a little, 1% more touch, and that's
Looks
the
like
completion.
this too high of a pass, and Reror gets it back near the end zone, or the red zone. This is number 11, Umezawa. Stockholm's Rising has to go, an arcing pass is complete. Number 77, Iwata with the score.
And eventually, Rero, feels like a while since they've managed to get a convincing offensive play. It's been fast and frantic in this point here, but they do get the job done. And the timeout called by Philippines, advantaging Rero, in fact. They peg back to hold. So Rero still down 3 breaks at the moment.
We'll see how that's going to ignite Reror back. And just when you thought, as you look at the young spectator from Reror's sideline, just when you thought Philippines were gonna get inch closer to gold, it's going the other side where Reror is inching closer to try to get back into this game.
And here we said, Rero reading that deep play. That was actually Takaze with the deep defense, and she's been everywhere. Very impressive when having to play D. Like we said, sagging in that open side, forcing those small dump passes, and now making her presence known in the deep space too. So Philippines offense now, they've been looking very smooth throughout this game. As we said, continuing to hold, led by Bade.
Here's Alahas. You can sense the D-line from, here's Bade. Thought about that forehand. Gives it back to Subang. Stockholm is rising. It looks like a travel is going to be called, as he looks like he dragged his pivot foot. Subang be marked here by number 21, Shun Kondo. Here's Subang. Subang rifles it through to Chauluyan. Subang. Great defense there from the handlers. Subang forced to be able to thread it in to Alahas. Alahas swings it to the middle to Bade. Bade to Alahas. Alahas, rifles it in to Subang. Trips over. Subang.
I'm not sure about that. I think that was like a thrower's foul, right? In terms of he was the one initiating contact with the mark.
I would agree there as well. In terms of Feltware, from Redor's point of view, he was just standing right there.
He had taken the space first, and Subang was going into his space.
Here's Subang. Pade all by himself. Gets it back. Dumps it back to Subang. 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 Oh, Oli able to get it. It looks like a pick's gonna be called. It'll be dumped back to Subang.
So a few of these stoppages, I think, does make it pretty difficult for defense to come into play, John.
Indeed, and see, get back. It looks like a pick is going to be called. Reason why it's going to get back to Subang. Subang. Gives it to Alahas. Alahas. Oh. Forehand pass. Alahas. 2 lapis. Complete. Alahas going up lines, being denied.
Another call related to the mark, John. I'm not sure what's going on.
But going back, Redor, excellent upline defense, denying those cuts.
I think also they're sagging out. You can't see it in this vision here, but now we do. You see that sag in the lane here from that female matching player, again deterring those open under options.
If you're the Philippines female matching player, you gotta recognize it, get out of the way there so they give other spaces for the cutters, but doing a great job, Ichizu is.
Yeah, either that or being a threat on that break side, and that either you'll get the disc eventually, or that will drag that poaching defender away from poaching in that lane.
Great job from Redor so far to deny an easy score. Quick pass here, Alahas, Alahas. Oh, and that's Chaluyan. Storming into that side to get that score.
I love those quick feet from Chaluan.
Yeah.
She went to cut under to look like she was going for a lateral option, and then plants her foot and turns to go that little upline shape into that little pocket and makes it for an easy open shot. So way to make her defender move, make her defender commit to one side, and then turns and goes the other way.
Skills from her time of being a basketball player in her university, playing dividends. She was able to duke out her defender and get that score. The ever reliable Oli Chaluyan, who's been playing for actually my home club team, Alpha. So great representation.
Yeah, that's Chaluan's second goal in this game. That goes with 10 goals in total for the tournament and 2 assists. So Chaluan, top female matching player, in fact, for this Philippines Mixed Masters side.
As we quickly get back here, Redor. Here's Philippines, 14-10. Look to see if they can end it right here. Or will Redor get their 11th point? Give you a zone defense again. Presented. Not a lot of movement for Redor.
Oh!
And there you go. Forces that error there. And it looks like Philippines wins the gold medal match. And that was Pangilinan.
And what a win, the Philippines Mixed Masters team. Alamat storming through, undefeated for the whole tournament. An emphatic win, going up 3 breaks against the local team of Riro Japan. And the D-line absolutely getting to work, converting with such efficiency. We saw some beautiful big hucks, some beautiful control of the disc, some fantastic body work as well. And Alamat, they will be so proud to bring home that gold medal.
Philippines, after a bronze finish from 2 years ago finally gets a taste of gold. Props to the Roar to be able to try to keep it close, but Philippines proving too much here as they able to hear the cheers and happiness. You can see Pangilian also from my home team, Alpha. Nice to see her be able to get that score. And you can look at the crowd and look at the team from Roar. Good finish from them in this tournament.
Yeah, I think that was very hotly contested, particularly in that first half when they were trading holds and, you know, trying to work each other out. Then the conditions started to change a bit, and I think with that, that actually boldened the Philippines to take some of those, I guess, what you'd think are higher risk options when their D-line got possession, but they absolutely paid off. And I think their, you know, slightly larger roster, they had the legs to run it out. They looked like they had the speed and the energy all the way through, and they were just very even and composed the whole way.
This wraps it up here for the mixed divisions Masters as Philippines punches in for their gold. One nation celebrates gold, and it's the Philippines. As you can see the excitement. This is Jonathan joined with Avril Tam as we sign off for this Masters division. Stay tuned for the next set of games here in the Asia Oceanic Ultimate Championships.